Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast. And as we do every week on this show, we're going to run through all of the exciting announcements and interesting stories shared on our site, stack.com, from the past 7 days. As we say every week, the industry is just not slowing down. It is never short on excitement, and we had plenty of interesting products and teasers and drops from the past week. And we're going to kick the show off with news from one of my personal favorite functional companies, and that's Halo Top. Halo Top obviously is very well known for its healthy, high-protein ice cream, but they've actually done a lot of things over the years that just go outside of I guess their comfortable ice cream, what they're known for. They've done collaborations with makeup companies. They did the Halo Top scoop shops for a number of years, which we actually went to one, and it was a crazy experience being able to just get Halo Top served in scoops in a cup as well as in a soft serve, and that was a whole story on itself. But the company has done. They had that special event where they dressed up a hotel down in New Zealand. They've done a lot of different things, and this past week we saw the team at it again with something interesting and creative with 3 new flavors, and these just aren't any new 3 flavors. These are exclusive to Canada, so as far as we know, they're not going to be available anywhere else. Each of them has that typical Halo Top ice cream base and nutrition, with 17 to 20 grams of protein per pint and 330 to 350 calories. So again, around your normal Halo Top flavors, but it's the fact that they are exclusive to Canada, and not only that, they've been put together with Canadian fans in mind, as all of them are inspired by sweet treats from the actual country. There is butter tart, maple pecan, and chocolate honeycomb, and each of them has their own little unique features. For example, the maple pecan is pecan maple syrup and brown sugar flavored ice cream with caramel swirls and pecan pieces. And then you have the chocolate honeycomb, honey flavored ice cream with chocolate fudge swirls and sweet honeycomb pieces throughout. So these are both, not both, they're all 3 of them are just delicious sounding flavors. But you're going to be able to find them in Canada. And as far as I'm aware, this is this is the first time the brand's done this. While we have seen them do products that are available in certain countries, with the Platinum Series and the chilled dessert treats in the UK, and then you have obviously the US lineup that has basically just products that you don't necessarily find outside of that. This is the first time I've seen Halo Top put together not just 3 flavors that are available to a country outside of the US, but 3 flavors specifically for that country. So it's pretty cool to see, and I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing this in other areas of the world, only because their popularity is international. They have big presences in many countries, and I'm surprised they didn't do it in the UK, even though they already have that Platinum Series and the chilled treats. It's a really cool fit. It's a really cool idea to make flavors of your delicious ice cream that are more familiar to the fans in that area of the world. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of that, but you can check them out on our site in more detail. Next up, we have another functional company, another favorite of mine actually, and that is Pandy. Originally known for its protein candy, it's high protein, low sugar candies, and they've become one of my favorites over the years purely because, they don't have a lot of different products. They're not like compared to, say, My Protein or even other companies that just have a lot of different items. Pandy's a more specialized, very, focused, quality-focused company. You've got the Pandy energy drink. You have the flagship Pandy candy bar, which is basically their protein bar, and which is still our number 2 ranked protein bar in the world. They also have lentil chips, and and they're obviously the original candies. But last week, and now available starting this week, the company announced 2 new products. And originally we thought they were going to be another flavor of the protein bar and another flavor of its lentil chips. And it turns out we were half right, because yes, they did introduce a new flavor of their lentil chips, which are actually not all that old, with sour cream and onion. And then the other product that the company teased last week and made available this week or today is an entirely new item, not another flavor of protein bar, but an entirely new protein snack with a Kit Kat-like treat called chocolate sticks, I believe it is. Or, yeah, Pandy chocolate sticks. Now, so if you've ever tried the Novo Nutrition Protein Break, Got7's Bahia Bar, there's a few others out there. My Protein has one as well. I think this is called the Break Bar. They're all pretty much the same, made from the same kind of company, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a Kit Kat-like treat, and it's absolutely amazing. It's as close to the real thing as you're probably ever going to get, without any of the without anywhere near as much sugar, and a lot more protein, I guess. So it's just a better version of that classic Kit Kat bar. And now Pandy has come out with one called Chocolate Sticks, made by the same company that does the Novo Nutrition one, which is a top-rated snack on our list of top 5 snacks. So I would say that this also makes the Pandy one a top-rated snack and just an incredible treat if you can get your hands on it. Pandy is a Swedish company, so its products aren't available all over the place, but they do have a nice reach and great distribution throughout Europe, so you should be able to pick them up in a lot of places. From Pandy, we move to another interesting announcement last week that was teased relatively fast. I think they announced that it was coming, and we had hints in past weeks, but didn't really know what we were in for, and that is the Nutrix Warrior series. So weeks before, Nutrix had teased that they were working on a product. They had really only mentioned they were working on a singular product, and so we didn't really know what it was. They wouldn't confirm category, they wouldn't confirm type, they wouldn't really say anything. But a lot of the teasers hinted at a pre-workout. As it turns out, what the company is actually working on is an entirely new series of products called the Nutrix Warrior series. And while it is an all-new, fresh-looking series that doesn't look anything like any other items in the brand's lineup, it is a very familiar series, and that is because of the 9 different supplements that make up the Warrior series. The majority of them are rebranded versions of just already available supplements. And a lot of those supplements do actually have the same formulas. Outlift Amped is one of the products that has been rebranded for the lineup, and that features all of the same ingredients as the Outlift Amp that's already on the market, just with a fresh new look. The same with Alpha Pump, their stim-free pump pre-workout, and EAA Plus Hydration, another product that's already available from the Nutrix line and has just been given a fresh new face for the Warrior series. In the mix, though, there are a few new items. The Lipo 6 Hardcore, that's a new product to the series, and that features a different formula to other Lipo 6 products, fat burners from Nutrix, even though the name is obviously an ongoing, consistent name from the company. Vita Adapt, that is a product that's been refreshed. Essentially same formula, still primarily a multivitamin with look to be a few tweaks. Alpha T is a new test booster in the line. But the flagship, I guess the leader of the Warrior series, is the series named pre-workout called Warrior. And this, I guess, is the most entirely new one of the bunch. It's out in front in all the pictures. It's also named after the Warrior series. And that, I guess, is the star of the new line from Nutrix, and it's I believe this is the one that they were teasing way back when they said that they had something coming in and they had something in the works, and we thought it was a pre-workout based on how they were describing it, and then just the rest of the items have come along with it. But you can check out everything in detail on the site. We've got links and info on all of that, and we actually have a dedicated post about the Warrior pre-workout, which is essentially intended to be a very stimulant-heavy competitor. It's very different from the other items or other pre-workouts in the brand's lineup, such as Outlift or even Outlift Amped. It keeps everything fully transparent. It's got a nice mix of ingredients for pump, focus, and energy. Not a whole lot on that performance side. No beta-alanine, notably no beta-alanine. There is creatine in there as well, with creatine HCl at a gram. It looks like a pretty interesting pre-workout. Again, you can check it out on the site. Just search up Warrior and it'll be one of the stories that pops up. Next up, we have news from Glaxon, who I've mentioned several episodes now, is probably, if not the, I would say it's one of a few top brands of the year so far. They only came onto the market at the end of last year, but they've just been relentless since hitting the scene. They launched with a massive amount of supplements, an amount that I think I've only ever seen from Redcon when they hit the market all those years ago, in a very different look and an eye-catching design marketing that just isn't exactly really anything you see from anybody else. And they've introduced a lot of new products since launching, and as mentioned, they launched with quite a few to begin with, so it's been interesting to see how fast they've extended their lineup. And we did already know they have Arc Immune, which is their immune health supplement, coming soon. They launched Super Shroom, which is the Super Shroom blend from their Super Green supplement by itself. But this past week, they introduced a product that they also only teased within the past couple of weeks, and it is a supplement called Serenity. And this has been in the works for quite a bit, from what I understand. And the whole goal behind it, or the idea behind it, is it's not really a category we've seen that many brands enter, but it is a category we've seen from other brands here and there over the past year or so, and it's essentially relaxation, anti-anxiety, anti-stress, mood-enhancing thing. It's hard to put in a category because it almost goes with focus supplements because of that whole mood side of things, and some of the ingredients in these products do help, but the idea or the primary focus of these things is to use this with the likes of a focus supplement or a nootropic, and add that anti-stress, that relaxing, that mood boosting and clarity, all those benefits in combination with enhanced focus. Glaxon Serenity is the latest addition to their lineup. It features 4 different ingredients, including Shodan ashwagandha, which is a premium or bioavailable ashwagandha, along with a few other features. And the goal of this one is just to help with relaxation. And they do suggest, in fact, they call it out right on the front of the product, that you can stack this with Adrenal, which is their top-rated focus supplement, one of our favorite focus supplements on the market. And you essentially get all those benefits of Adrenal, which is pure, just strong, long-lasting energy and focus, combined with that relaxation, mood, and anti-stress benefits of Serenity. So it's an interesting product, and again, if you're someone who I guess is interested in that and you do already take Adrenal, it's a nice product to just throw in the mix. And again, an interesting one from Glaxon, as exciting as they've been and as great as they have been getting a lot of attention with their exciting products. I've been very impressed with the types of products they've put out. They haven't stuck to the typical categories. While they do have them with pre-workout, they've got multiple types of pre-workouts, all for different situations and different needs. And they've got a stim-free fat burner, a fat burner. So they do cover the typical categories, but a lot of their stuff steps outside of the boundaries, steps outside of what we're used to seeing. Meanwhile, the company is getting a lot of attention and staying fairly mainstream, but just, like I said, bringing in categories you don't typically see big brands and exciting brands tackle. And let's just put it this way, they don't even have a protein powder, which is arguably one of the most saturated categories and mainstream categories, and they've yet to give it a run. But they have plenty of other stuff, and Serenity, just as unique as it is very fitting for the brand's lineup that continues to just bring in all these different categories and types of supplements for just a comprehensive lineup that no matter really your walk of life, they have something that you would be interested in. And so I'm excited to see where they go from here, even though we already know they've got Arc Immune still in the works. Just the next few categories and how the year goes will be interesting and intriguing to see even more development from the brand that that you can almost not really predict what they're going to do, but you know you're going to like whatever they come out with. Next in the podcast, we have a brand and a new product. And I'll start with the brand, actually, purely because this one is quite interesting, quite comprehensive, and it is a story we shared actually this week. So it's not really a recap from the past 7 days, but if you go on the site, you'll see it. And I'm not really entirely sure how you pronounce it, but it's a new brand called Vayu. It's Vayu. That's how I'm going to say it. And until someone corrects me, and I'm probably wrong. But it's a new brand out of Germany. And we see a lot of new brands, but when we first got wind of this a couple of weeks back, the look on this brand just, like, you have different brands and different styles, but the look on these guys it's extremely eye-catching. At least I felt. They haven't got the traditional look. Basically, if you go on the site, you can see what I mean, but the tubs are just all black with the name of the brand in a dark grey, in bold, circling the tub, and then you've got the letter V, which is their sort of logo, in red on the front. And then right below the V in small, you've got the name of the product. And that's it. That's on the face of their labels. They haven't put flavors. They haven't put sizes. They haven't put call-outs. They haven't put details. They haven't put highlight. That's it. And I just thought the vagueness of it all was so damn intriguing and so damn cool. It pulled me in. I had to look for more, and I'm pleased I looked for more, because the brand is not your everyday brand. It's as mentioned, it's a German company. It's been put together in partnership with IFBB Pro bodybuilders, and the goal of each of the products is just primarily a heavy focus on quality and performance. And the company has introduced itself with 4 supplements, 3 of which are available, but the 4 are Nitro, Meta, 2C Plus, and mTOR. Nitro is the only one that's not available right now, and that's a pre-workout, at least from what we know. 2C Plus is a protein powder. It's actually a straightforward protein powder, very simple, nothing too extra on top, with a whey concentrate base, providing a solid, I think it's 23 grams of protein per serve. It's, again, very straightforward, although I will say the flavors on that one are quite interesting, but at the same time, these flavors are interesting to me, but I have seen these flavors from other companies in Europe. There's vanilla and chocolate vanilla, so that's traditional vanilla, and then a chocolate vanilla, peach yogurt, and then the other one is rice pudding cinnamon. And so they have a very unique mix of flavors. But the other supplements, there's Meta Plus, which is, it's an energy product, but it's not a pre-workout. I tried to kind of understand it as best I could. From what I can gather, it is just purely an anytime energy product, not an amino energy, because there aren't big doses. If I'm not recall, there's no added aminos in there. It's just an anytime energy formula. And again, I was sort of surprised by that, because typically brands launch pre-workout amino protein, and they've just thrown in just this convenient little energy powder. It's features caffeine, green tea, and synephrine. It's again, it's just a very interesting little supplement. But I would say the star of their show, or the star of the lineup, is mTOR, and I haven't seen the formula behind Nitro yet, so I don't know how intense that is. But yeah, as mentioned, you got 2C Plus, the protein powder, very straightforward. Then you have Meta, which is a very simple anytime energy formula, and then you have mTOR. Now, again, the labels of this brand is just crazy eye-catching, but the formula behind mTOR is very deserving of that eye-catching branding, purely because this thing is just loaded, and the price tag is very reflective of that. While the protein powder is 39 euros for 1.5 kilos, and just to give you an idea, I believe that's like 3.5 pounds, just over 3 pounds. And then you have Meta Plus at 29 euros, a very simple energy product, and that one has 90 servings, so it's very straightforward. But mTOR, which is an amino product, sits at 59 euros, which, as far as I'm aware, that's one of the most expensive amino products I've ever seen. it's taken the conversion, it's a very expensive supplement. And as I mentioned, the reason it's so interesting is that they've just jacked the thing out of this with EAAs. It has 19.9 grams, which, again, as far as I know, is the most the biggest dose of EAAs I've seen in an amino supplement. I've seen, you got the usual 10 grams, even 15 I've seen in some products. But no, these guys have thrown in 19.9 grams with more than 10 grams of that being BCAAs. So it's not like, a lot of it is BCAAs, but not a huge amount. And I will also mention that they don't have all 9 EAAs in this. Typically you see all 9 just because that's kind of what's come with the EAAs. They've got them all, I believe it's minus histidine. So they have all the others, all 8 others, and just at huge dosages. And there is the blend of electrolytes in the mix as well to help with hydration. But again, a very, very interesting brand to say the least. Germany, I have seen some cool brands from them, but not anything that didn't seem too eye-catching, impressive, awesome right out of the gate. And these guys just, I don't know, where it's from the branding to just the uniqueness of each of the products, specifically with like the Anytime Energy product and the loaded amino. Just, they don't have a loaded energy product and they don't have a loaded protein, but their amino was just packed with more EAAs than I've seen in any other product on the market. It's just a very intriguing brand, and I'm excited to see what the pre-workout looks like, the Nitro, as I have to imagine that's going to be along the same lines as mTOR and feature a good dose of all your pre-workout ingredients. And pre-workout isn't exactly a category you can do like they've done with Meta and 2C+, and do it very straightforward. It needs to be done with, a hefty amount of ingredients, just to not even to compete, just to get someone's attention. So and going off mTOR with the amount of EAAs they have, I'm excited to see what it looks like, and I'm sure details on that will be along soon because they've previewed it. And they've got the first three are now available for purchase in Germany. So I don't expect Nitro to be too far behind, if not even this week. And our last story is from VPX Sports, the maker of Bang, of course, the popular Bang energy drink. And if you're a big fan of VPX and even Bang, you should be familiar with Redline, which is another beverage brand or line of beverages similar to Bang, from VPX Sports. It's been around for a while. They've had shots, they've had just mountain of different versions, Redline Hardcore, Redline, I think there's a Redline Princess if I recall. And it's just sort of an RTD company, heavy focus on energy, much like Bang, but it's bottled RTDs. This week they've come out with a canned drink called Redline Noo-Fusion. And this is a kind of like C4 Smart Energy, as well as a few other beverages out there. It is a focus-infused energy drink. So they've taken basically energy and focus ingredients and thrown them into the one for, I guess, a more complete, more interesting, more functional experience. With I think the top ingredient in the mix is betaine at 2.5 grams. Then there's caffeine. That's at the same dose as Bang at 300 milligrams per can. Cognizin is also in there, which, if I recall correctly, is also an ingredient from that C4 Smart Energy. And your Himbee's in there, as well as super creatine, which is also the also in Bang. But those ingredients I mentioned with dosages, those are the only ones that they've listed with the actual dosages. They don't, only half the label, or not even half, 3 of its 7 ingredients transparently dosed. The rest are just listed in your typical blend style. With teocrine is also another one that they've thrown in there. So it's I guess a more multi-effect, more well-rounded drink. It's not something that's in the VPX lineup, whereas Bang focuses has a lot of focus on energy. They haven't infused it with the likes of Cognizin. So it's an interesting drink. You can read more about that on our site as per usual at stack.com, or as some people like to say, Stack3d. But we're going to close out this episode with an announcement that I haven't actually shared on the site just yet. We did tease it, not even tease it, we confirmed it over the weekend. and it's going to be an interesting one. We're bringing back the Stack Pro Supplement Expo. Longtime fans will know exactly what that is. It was basically something we wanted to do to bring the expo experience online. And we did it maybe 4 years ago, I think 3-4 years ago, with great success. And we stopped it just because we did it twice in the first year, twice in the second. And we were going to keep it going, but I didn't really feel like we could execute it with enough brands. And I wanted to execute it on a scale like you would get with your typical expos. And a lot of things came over when we started doing more shows, and we started doing new contests such as Clash of Cans and Protein Wars. But, I really wanted to do it again when the time was right. And even though right now with everything going on in the world, it is kind of fitting for the expo, we actually had a couple fans that commented on Facebook, I think it was last year in November or December, and someone specifically says, you should do the Stacked Expo again. And I was like, that's not a bad idea. I have been wanting to do it. I just never really had the time or got around to do it, because it's a massive effort to pull together and get the huge amount of brands we do it for. And then someone else commented like the same damn week, and I just thought, okay, let's do it. Let's do it in 2020. And so we set the month. It's going to be held in July. At least it's the plan right now. We have to put the notice out and see what brands want to participate. Those that attended, or at least experienced the original Stack Pro, it is going to be much the same. It's going to be slightly different in terms of display and design and navigation. But it's all going to come down to, I guess, like with most expos, depends what the brands want to bring. We always put a big emphasis on new products, new launches, deals, new releases, to bring excitement to it. And that we'll be doing that again, obviously, this time. But for those that didn't experience it, as I mentioned, the Stack Pro is really an event that takes the expo experience online. We try to deliver what you get at a show. Great deals, new products, information, more details on the brand, connections, if you're a retailer or a distributor, more connection details with these brands, and we put it into an online experience. And the goal is then to communicate that experience online in the most efficient way possible. And we believe we did that with the first few, and we'll be doing it again with this one. And so it's definitely something to enjoy. All you got to do is go on and have fun and take part in it. It's if I recall, there were people that went through the whole expo and they said it was taking like 20 minutes, 25 minutes to sit there and see everything on this show. Just to, I guess, give a little more context, it is a website for those who didn't get to experience the first few. It is a website, but it's a website that's only online for 5 days. So you have 5 days to get in, check everything out, and have fun. There are giveaways as well, obviously, samples and whatnot. And we'll have more details on the site soon, and we'll set an exact date. But all we ask for you guys to show support is, if you're a brand, get involved, have fun. And if you're a consumer, just definitely check it out. That's the most you can do. The more people we get to it, the more exciting and the more fun it is, and the bigger chance we will of doing it again. So thank you for tuning into this episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, and we look forward to having you back next week.